I haven't done an Anarcho Sagas video in a while. Would you like to do one together?
Oh!
Lopsided.
It's a little lopsided. What do you want me to do?
Welcome back to the hotly anticipated follow-up on the Emmett and Max talking for 30 minutes BS video, whatever, Anarcho Sagas video.
That's right.
Man, Emmett's been badgering me about doing this for a while, so I mean, he's got all these topics that he's been talking about, like wanting to address. So
I have nothing to say.
Go ahead.
I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know.
Should we not be doing this then?
We could do it if you want.
No, you
talk about.
Emmett, you've been telling me you wanting to do this.
Well, you know,
we stated this whole list. Where'd it go? Nah, he didn't. I'm just messing around.
No list. No list. I can shoot the breeze. Fly by the seat of my pant leg.
Seat of your pant leg. How's Battlefront going?
Oh no. No good. I get so worked up. Anyone who might, I feel bad because I know like Twitch streaming is supposed to be. When you're a viewer watching a stream, it's supposed to be kind of relaxed and cozy. It's like, you know, you're playing games with this guy, and
It's bottling the experience of playing games.
Yeah, and you have like the group of friends in the chat that you can talk to, but and it's exciting when the streamer like, you know, reads your stuff and notices you or whatever. But when I play, I've been streaming Battlefront recently, and I don't look at the chat because I'm in the game. Those are quick games, so like, you don't have time to look. So
it requires like focus.
Yeah, I don't read the chat at all, and I just get angry, and I curse a lot and I yell a lot. And,
what do people say about it? I haven't watched the stream.
They're very nice. No one has been like, "Wow, Emmett's really," you know. I've been expecting someone to be like, "Wow, there's this dark side of Emmett I haven't seen," and I'm like turned off now.
I feel like everyone knows that at this point.
Yeah, I guess so. But
everyone's seeing the ugly side of Emmett.
Yeah, and it's giving me. I have like, you guys probably can't see very well on the camera, but I have like so much acne right now, and I've been pretty good with acne in the past, but there's a direct correlation between when I play like online competitive games and like getting pimples. So I'm going cold turkey.
I'm
leaving the Xbox with Max right now. Because I gotta get it away from me. It's like the VHS tape in the ring.
Hey, your trash is my treasure. Because I'm gonna be playing Tekken. I'm gonna be playing Castle Storm. All right, I have like a rotating, like 3 or 4 games that I play. Emma, can you name them all at this point?
Well, there's Tekken. There's obviously Castle Storm and the original Battlefront 2.
The original, the 2004, I think, Battlefront 2. Mm-hmm. And there's one more that I sometimes play.
Oh, which one? I don't know.
Civilization Revolution.
Oh, of course, yeah.
The 2008 Civilization Revolution. It's like very rudimentary.
I play that one too. It's very good.
It's fun.
It's fun.
It's
yeah, I don't know what it is. These comparing like the original Battlefront 2 with the new one. The original one was so straightforward. It was so just you shoot the guys, get the command posts. Everyone has the same amount of health, and everyone has like every soldier type has like their own weapon. But in this new one, you have these cards you can unlock that increases your overall health and the damage that your weapons do.
Yeah.
And then if you're doing well in the game, you can unlock like better characters. But it's weird because you know it
looks fantastic.
It looks incredible, but it's so confusing as to what's like going on, and you never know if you shoot someone he's gonna die instantly, or if he has a lot of health he's just gonna it's gonna take a while.
Yeah.
So it incentivizes you to play more and more and more and more, but I don't know, it's just very convoluted. And the way the points work is if you play as one of the standard classes, even if you're doing really badly, you'll rack up points slowly. So if you save all your points, you can eventually get like a Jedi. You can play as a Jedi or a Sith or someone. So technically, like someone who's doing really bad and hasn't gotten any kills, if he saved his points, he can like all of a sudden play as Obi-Wan. Okay. And it's also much more easy to play as the heroes and villains. In the original one, yeah, it's like a scary event when you see a hero or a villain. In the original one, it's like, oh my god, you know, it's like terrifying. In this one, you can have like 3 heroes and 3 villains like constantly, and it's just too much.
It seems like a mess to me.
It's really
as good as it looks. There is like a lot going on the screen. You want the appearance of a hero or a villain to have some weight to it.
Yeah.
You want it to be significant, and that's what was so cool about like dude, the original Battlefront. If you guys have played it, being Darth Maul in the original in
Yeah.
Battlefront 2, excuse me, being Darth Maul is like the coolest thing you can possibly.
It really is,
He's just flying across the place,
Yeah.
slicing people. There was one time that it was like the end of the game, right? It was on Mos Eisley, and I threw my lightsaber. You know, you can throw like boomerang action sort of lightsaber thing with the heroes. It missed the guy, so I saw it was coming back, so I force pushed him into the returning
That's so
lightsaber.
sick.
It was the coolest thing I've ever done. I don't think
Yeah.
I'd ever be able to do that again. But like little moments like that, it's just cool. And there was like, it almost felt like frictionless and anti-gravity when you were like a Jedi, just like zipping across everything. You know, you could triple
It's a huge,
jump.
it's a game-changing thing, and like
Yeah.
the music starts for that character. It's
Yeah.
like, wow. Like you really feel like it's cinematic because it's like almost like the part of the movie where they show up, and then it's like,
Yeah.
oh man, everything's changing.
Yeah, it's
but
tight.
in the new one, it's just like there's. Like, I was just playing a match and I had just killed Grievous, and then immediately another Grievous spawned because like he had so many
Oh.
points that he could just respawn as Grievous. It's like, what? You know, why did
Yeah.
this just too much?
No, yeah, that's
Too much.
crazy.
Yeah. I don't know. And then some game modes have command posts, but the command posts can be captured much more easily. There's no more neutral zone. You know how when
Really?
yeah.
There's no more white light.
There's no more
command.
white. Yeah, if you guys haven't played, I'm sure most of you guys have played the original. But yeah, if there's an enemy command post, you have to first like neutralize it, so it just becomes white, and they can't spawn there. And then when it's white, there's another phase you have to go through to make it yours. But on the new one, it just goes straight from like blue to red or red to blue, depending on what's happening. It makes capturing a command post a little less of a important factor in winning the game.
Yeah.
It's weird.
It used to be that
Yeah.
you'd have to, I mean, so you don't have to hold out as long? Is that what you're saying? You don't have to wait there as long?
You don't have to wait there as long. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like a much quicker thing.
Yeah. It used to be that, like, yeah, it would
Yeah.
be red, and then you'd have to, and then people were spawning there as you were taking it over, and you'd have to kill them
And
a
then
lot yourself a
I
lot of the time.
think in the original one, the longer you've had a command post, the longer the enemy has had a command post, the longer it takes to like take down.
Yeah.
You notice that?
Yeah, yeah,
Like
yeah,
if you just captured a post, and then someone takes it, it like goes straight
Yeah.
back up and forth. But if you've had like your main base post at the very beginning, at the very far end of the map, it takes a long time to.
Yeah.
Because I think we've all tried like flanking through the back and then like sneakily taking
Yeah.
that post, but it takes forever to just
And
watch
then
the thing go down.
That's not a very good. I've realized, with the exception of a few maps that are like sort of weirdly laid out, that's a kind of a bad strategy because
weird, yeah.
you won't be able to hold it for very long.
Right.
You'll just what you're doing is you're fracturing your own command. So like, say there's command posts like here, here, and here, and they're all yours, right, on my side of the camera here. And then on Emmett's, it's like he has one in the middle and then two on his side. If I try to go all the way to the back one, I have less resources for my own side of the map, and I've fractured my like holdings. So
Yeah.
now I have like their command post in between two of mine and
Right.
one of mine on the other side. It just never, unless you're like playing with people who like you really trust and you can coordinate things very well, it's not a strong strategy.
Yeah, that's true. And it's not geared towards my like the type of player I am. I'm a really bad shot. I never play as snipers. It's so tense. You gotta you just get that one. I don't know.
It's very satisfying
Yeah,
when you do land.
it is. Yeah, but I'm such a bad shot. I've always when I played Halo, I got really good, but I always had like shotgun as my main. You know, I'd always just like run down hallways and like out in like melee and shoot, and that was my thing. I just like get right in your face. But and I'd use explosives a lot too. And I've tried to play as the rocket guy. He has like the jetpack and he
Yeah,
shoots
I've seen you
rockets.
playing as him.
Yeah. And in most games, when you have like a rocket launcher or something, you can shoot like next to the guy and it'll still get him because it's an explosion. But
Yeah.
in this game, like there's no like radius.
What?
So you can like I always like forget that, and I'm like there'll be a guy coming and I like jump up and try to rocket near him, and he's just like cool, and he just runs away. And it's like
You have
I
to
know.
hit him with the projectile
yeah,
itself?
like directly. Yeah,
It just doesn't make sense.
I know,
I'm sorry,
I
it just
know,
doesn't.
I
If a
know.
rocket exploded next to me right now, I'd feel
I
it.
know.
I'd
And
be damaged.
there's another card you can unlock that reduces that kind of impact, like explosion impact and stuff. So you can kind of like nullify grenades entirely. If someone throws a grenade and you have like the highest rated card that nullifies explosions for your character, it just like won't have any effect really. It's
Sounds
just weird.
frustrating.
Yeah.
It sounds frustrating. Hey man, I haven't. I know what I like, and I've been sticking to like
Right.
my mid 2000s games and
Mhm.
shit.
and yet it's so addicting. I keep wanting to. I don't know, the really HD like outfits the guys have is so cool. I've noticed that, and they show them to you prominently like throughout the whole experience. The loading screen is like every single helmet for every single
Yeah.
character, and it's very much like it's just straight up action figures. It's like action figures
Yeah.
for adults. You
Yeah.
can like unlock the different outfits, and they always, even like the main menu is just some random character. Like it might be a hero, it might be just like a trooper or whatever, but they always showcase they're like really highly detailed, really good looking characters, really well, and you can tell they're very proud of them. But yeah, I don't know, it's just funny. It just kind of makes me want to revert back to buying like high quality action figures or something.
Yeah, well, I kind of like that super pixely 240p Obi-Wan Kenobi face.
Yeah,
from Battlefront, man.
We'll have to find it, from the old Episode 3 game. Someone on Twitter had noticed that the Obi-Wan from the Star Wars Episode 3 game looks like you.
Yeah, somebody,
Yeah,
and it
really
did,
does.
they kind of did. Who was that who said that?
I don't
Thank you,
remember.
whoever that was. Yeah, man,
It looks
yeah.
like you. That's so
Dude.
fun. I played that game so much. It was such a fun game.
Yeah, that's a huge compliment. Even like the lowest polygon rate Obi-Wan Kenobi looks like me, dude, I'll take it.
It did.
Yeah.
Oh man, yeah, that was a great game. That was one of the. I think that was the only game that was straight up the movie that came out alongside the movie. They always do, like, Episode 1 had Jedi power battles, which I guess was kind of the story. And I never played power battles, but I've heard that it's supposed to be the story of Episode 1. The one we played that came out with Episode 1 was Pod Racer. It was that racing game. That was really good.
That was a tight game.
Yeah.
I got pretty good at it for a while, but I remember a level that I kept. Like, you have to get almost scientific about the higher levels to place in first. Like how you play Rogue Squadron. Like, you have to, it's like choreographed almost. You have to like practice, because you eventually know when the TIE fighters come in and like rendezvous on Barkesh or whatever, and like you have to like swirl around and get them.
You got
over there.
really good, yeah. And then Episode 2 there was a Attack of the Clones game, but it was vehicle based. There were only like a couple times in the game where you could actually play as a Jedi and swing your sword around. It was a good game. But again, it had its own niche thing. It focused on vehicles. And then, of course, there's Bounty Hunter, which is about Jango Fett, which is a great game.
Bounty Hunter,
Yeah.
Incredible game.
Very good game. And then, when Episode 3 came out, it was just straight up like Episode 3, the game, that followed the whole story arc.
Huh.
And it was very, very good.
Have I played that? What are you talking about?
I don't know if you played that one. You alternate as Anakin or Obi-Wan on their missions that you.
Sounds like a lot of
It
fun.
is a lot of fun. You go to Utapau as Obi-Wan, you fight Grievous.
Yeah.
And you even you take down the Jedi as Anakin.
Yeah.
And then at the end, when they have their duel, you can choose who to play as. So if you play as Obi-Wan, it's the movie ending. But if you play as Anakin, he actually kills Obi-Wan.
I saw the cutscene.
Yeah,
I did see the cutscene
yeah.
for that.
It was a
Okay,
great game.
I've seen you play a little bit of that. So was it Lucasfilms that owned Star Wars, all of Star Wars before Disney?
Yeah.
So it's funny how it used to be so much more guarded about giving away like source material, sound files, things like that, because Disney now is just
Yeah,
it's
right,
whatever.
right.
But like when they made Rogue Squadron. The Rogue Squadron 64, the guy who did the sound design, you can look this up on the Wikipedia for Rogue Squadron 64. The guy who did the sound design for it, asked for, hey, could I get like the TIE Fighter sound files and the sound files for these different things? And they were like, ooh, I don't know, we can give you like a low-res version of it. And it was so bad, like the version they gave him was so bad, he was like, forget it, I'll just use my VHS player. And he recorded the TIE Fighter sounds from the movie from his VHS player
Oh my
to use in the
gosh.
game because the Star Wars, like Lucasfilms or whatever, was so uncooperative. Which is also why they had to do everything, basically, almost everything in Rogue Squadron is like extended universe stuff, like Rendezvous on Barkesh, the Jade Moon.
Yeah.
I mean,
They
they
made
had
it good,
Tatooine
though.
and Hoth. They did make it good,
Yeah.
but like they had so much of it was
I
like
didn't know
not
that.
stuff from the movies.
Wow.
They had to like get creative and sort of like work their way around it.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I remember the later Rogue Squadrons that came out also tried to get you to play as like a Jedi just on the ground. And I thought at the time that was so cool because I never got a chance to do that before. I guess I had never played Jedi power battles, and a lot of early games I think were vehicle based because I think the mechanics were simpler. It was probably easier to make a ship look good rather than a person. But I remember being really excited. There was a GameCube Rogue Squadron game, and you could play as Luke on Dagobah, and you would have to like lift the X-wing up.
Oh,
It was really hard. It was one of those things you had to press
mash
the button,
the
right,
button.
but it was like
Yeah.
insane speed. Because I mean, he fails in the movie, but I mean, you still fail if you succeed the button mashing thing. But I remember it just being the most ridiculous. I got like stuck at that part, which usually isn't like an issue. But and then you get to play as Wedge Antilles, and you get to play as the Walkers and stuff, which was cool. But the expansion of that, when they went from like just like aerial battles to also ground battles and walking around and stuff, I think it took away from the core of what made Rogue Squadron fun, and then those games kind of tapered off. I think that was like one of the last ones.
I think there were a couple missions. Do you remember the secret beta level in Rogue Squadron where you could like walk around? It was like this undeveloped,
No, I don't.
world, and there was like a chicken walker, and you could walk around. I think, and you could like get in it.
Oh,
and
it was like a little flat grass. Yeah,
flat
what
grass,
was that?
and there was a little Adobe, one of those Mos Eisley huts or whatever.
What was that about? It was like some different game mode or something.
Yeah, it was like one of those secret levels. And there was a lot of like little hidden gems. Like you could unlock the Naboo starfighter. You could.
Yeah, it was cool. Yeah, I remember when you got to pick from the ship in the hangar, and it each had its own place. And then you could get the Naboo starfighter, and you could get the Millennium Falcon.
Naboo starfighter, Millennium Falcon, and TIE fighter.
Yeah,
and
like hidden
and
around
a car.
cars.
Do you remember the car? It was like one of the developers' Caminos or something. Some shitty car that you could fly around and shoot lasers and all.
It really felt like you found something you weren't supposed to see, and it was exciting because all the ships were lined up, and then I forget what you had to do to get the secret ones, but it would like go to
make a different
hangar.
sound.
Yeah,
it would like the camera would swoop all the way around and
it would
show
be
you
this
these
little like.
But there was a part, I think even if you didn't put in some certain codes, it would like, at one point it would scroll over like either the Millennium Falcon or something. It was something that would show you that it was there, but you wouldn't be able to like place your cursor on it.
Yeah, I missed that stuff. That's kind of like in Snowboard Kids 2 with Damien, where he's like behind the sign or whatever.
Yeah, Damien was behind the sign.
Yeah, that's cool. I love when they make it exciting, like it's hidden.
Yeah.
That was a good game.
Yeah, loot boxes don't really feel like they're hidden and exciting, do they?
Yeah, everything now is just like, you get enough like number points and then you can just unlock the next thing, and it's very unimaginative.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's sad. There's a
formula for everything, and it takes the uniqueness out of things.
Yeah.
I was watching, this is a good point to add to that actually. I was watching that Smash Brothers documentary again. There's like this, I love it. I've been trying to get Evan to watch it. It doesn't sound like his cup of tea to him, but it's called The Smash Brothers, and it's like 4 parts, and each part is an hour long, and it's about like the history of competitive Super Smash Bros. Melee from like 2001 to relatively present.
Wow.
And there was this meme in the Smash community called 20XX, where it was a joke about how like the year is 20XX. All the top tier Melee players are highly technical Fox players because like like everyone has just like obsessively gotten super good with Fox, and like that's the only way to like rank anymore. Because it's like at the beginning of something like that, like if you look at the really old Melee tournaments, like stuff that people recorded just on their camcorder in like the early 2000s, it was just some kids in Virginia like get together and they'd play, on an old TV together, and like no one really knew who the better character. Like there was like a general like acceptable tier, like high tier list that was like kind of Fox, Falco, Captain Falcon, a couple other, like I think some people were playing with Link back then, who is not even. Like you can't be like a top tier contender with Link anymore, because people have gone in, looked at the frame rate data, the hitboxes, the timings with all this stuff, and that's what the 20XX meme is about. It's like feels like there's this inevitable like trajectory where you can't, at a certain point you won't be able to avoid having to use the absolute most scientifically optimized character, or else you just won't have a place in the roster.
That's so insane. Oh my God.
That's what I mean by like. It feels like that kind of applies to what's going on with video games, in the sense that there's not a lot of unique ways to just like have fun with the making of video games anymore.
Yeah.
You have to optimize the formula for making people play as long as possible, making people pay more for extra crap. Like, there's this cold optimization to it, whether they didn't use.
Yeah, that's sad. I get so exhausted just thinking about that. You have to figure out sort of how to like break the game in order to. That's always the goal with a lot of like hardcore gamers these days. They try to exploit like almost the issues and the inequalities, and then that's when it's like But I mean I guess that's been a thing for a while. That's where the term came from, right?
Yeah.
When you beat the game, it's because you like.
It's because there were like Donkey Kong didn't have any more levels to load after a certain point. Like it would stop. But there was in fighting, maybe because I'm like such a big fighting game fan, there's a kind of beauty to it with, especially, and I'm gonna go back to Melee in particular, because the guy who invented Super Smash Bros. Melee, or Super Smash Bros. the late 90s one, and Super Smash Bros. Melee, he intended it as like a family game. Like, he wanted it to be a game that you could just pick up and like everyone could play, and it could be.
And it still is that, for sure.
But it also has taken a life of its own to where now it's like widely accepted as the most technical fighting game.
Really?
Yeah, and so like even like you can ask like. So I follow a lot of professional and semi-professional Tekken players on Twitter and stuff.
Right, yeah, when I think of professional fighting games, I think of like Bandai Namco stuff.
Yeah, Bandai Namco stuff. But if you ask some of these like dyed-in-the-wool like Tekken players, they'll be like, there's something different about Smash. Like Basically, he accidentally created a game where you had so much control over your character because the inputs, like the amount of inputs that like a Smash player puts into their controller within a second is like on average higher than any other fighting game. So it's like because you can do wave dashing, which is like this way to cancel like a mid-air dodge that'll make your player slide across the ground faster. You can do L canceling, which will hit a move in mid-air and then it'll stop it so that you can get back down and like do.
So are these like moves that he intended, or is this stuff people figured out?
These are their moves that he made, but they've made them do something different.
Okay.
And
man,
yeah,
God,
and so. Like Nintendo was kind of embarrassed that they accidentally created this. Like we're supposed to be like a family-friendly, really approachable, and I think there's a beauty to that they turned it on its head like that.
It's so funny.
Yeah.
I didn't know that, but I knew it was like highly competitive, but I didn't know it was like the.
It's like the
highest,
game.
Yeah.
It's like the game. It's the fighting game. Yeah.
Yeah. I can't do. I love fighting games offline, but whenever I go online, I get destroyed.
I get destroyed in Tekken pretty quick. I've been playing Tekken for 21 years, and I still get destroyed in Tekken.
We both enjoy that. You play a lot of Tekken, I play a lot of Soul Calibur. We both play a lot of Injustice, as you guys have seen. But it's so quick, and it takes such a calm, calculated mind to get good at those things, and I don't have that. I just get so angry so quick.
I feel like sometimes I'm on the brink of having that, like when I'm practicing like combos and stuff, but I don't. It really, I don't think I kind of wish I did have that.
Me too.
But it just ends up not being enjoyable when I get close to that. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, I remember there was it wasn't even online, but I think in Soul Calibur 4 there was a mode called Tower of Souls, which is you just go up this like infinite tower and they get harder and harder and harder. And I remember when I was like 12, I broke down into tears fighting the same Yoshimitsu. It was just so hard. It's overwhelming how like quick it all is, and it's just like it feels like you're really getting like attacked. Just from how intense it is. It was I remember really like our dad had to like pull me away from it. He was like, "Let's go to the store. And, you know, it's only a game," and I was just like shaking and crying.
Yeah. He's being coy. That was last night.
Well, I still get so worked up, and I wish I didn't. Again, like you, I wish I could just relax. I never go into a game with the intention of like I want to get pissed. You know, like no one does that. But inevitably, if it's like competitive, if it's online, it frustrates
you're
me.
Getting close. You at some point get close to the Wings of Redemption point where you're just like, fuck this game. And everyone just want to like denounce everything about it. Like.
It's so bad. But I've enjoyed them a lot. I really enjoyed playing like Injustice and I really like Soul Calibur. They're fun.
Injustice 2 is so much fun.
Yeah, they're fun. But and I've never sat down and tried to master a character. I always just kind of do the same basic moves with each character, but I've never like gone. You go through the move lists and stuff.
I go through move lists of a few characters but they have to at first be sort of intuitive for me. Right. Like if I remember when I played a lot of Tekken 3 back in the day, like I would keep trying to master the King. King has this succession of grab moves that'll end in like this crazy, it's called like giant stomp or giant something, and he just like flips you upside down with your legs up here and like, whams like your neck on his shoulder and like breaks your neck or whatever. And it's the coolest looking. If you can make it work, it looks so cool. You're so in control because you're grab after grab. It's just like breaking this and breaking that and swinging them around. And like I remember trying to get to that, and only once did I manage to get it all the way to like the end, to where like they had like a less than a quarter of their health left after one grab chain. And it just wasn't worth it. I was like, I just spent 2 days learning that.
Yeah, right. And then even if you do master a character, I remember I got pretty good with Siegfried in Soul Calibur 4. He would have this thing where if you do like a certain move, his stance would change when you drop the weapon, and then you'd have a different sort of set of moves to choose from. And you could like do all these cool chains where you'd be like, it would be one, like it would just be like this flow of like move.
Yeah.
And I remember getting really good at that. And then when the next game came out, they like totally changed that. And so you had to like relearn Siegfried. I don't know if that's the same way for Tekken.
It's similar to, because Namco does that where you change position and then you have a new. Hwoarang does that. Hwoarang has like 1, 2, like 3 positions where he's, or more, maybe more, where like the different kicks will do different things in those different positions, and sometimes moves will put you in a different position.
And there were a couple standard moves I had for Siegfried. There was one where you like, it was some button and then down, and he would like do this cool swoop. There were like 3 or 4 moves that I always did with him, and then in the next game they were like slightly different. They always changed the way moves happen a little bit, and that messes me up a lot because it takes a while to really get those moves into your fingers, and then the next game comes out and they just feel so foreign.
Right.
It's hard to keep up, but yeah, I don't know. I stick mainly with just story-driven games. I just say I can't. I'm not the right psyche for the competitive stuff. Ask me about blacksmithing. So Max, you've been taking a blacksmithing class.
Oh,
yeah,
I have. Yeah, I've been taking a blacksmithing class. It's a lot of fun. That's sort of basically what I've been up to. I know I've been. If you guys follow me on Twitter and Instagram, like you've been basically up to date on what I've been doing outside of YouTube and everything. But yeah, I've been taking a blacksmithing class. I really like it. I took welding last year, and I enjoyed that too. So I'm kind of getting like a general sense of, not metallurgy, but kind of metallurgy, because I'm learning a lot about the properties of like steel and iron and how everything works together. I've been making some cool pieces that I really enjoy. Just kind of getting a broad sense for that, and yeah, it's a lot of fun. So that's what I've been. And so the reason that I like stopped doing the Skyrim Let's Plays, because I expected to be doing like blacksmithing, welding, and working full time this semester. I ended up dropping the welding class pretty early on because it was just too much to take on. But I miss making videos. I miss making them. I miss editing them.
Yeah.
I miss being a part of the Let's Play. I do. So I don't know. Maybe I'll be more consistent here on Anarcho Sagas in the near future going forward. I'd love to play little. It'd be fun to just like play little. You know how I played some of those like little horror games and stuff on Steam, like Little Nightmares or whatever, like on this channel in the Fate Bros. It'd be cool to just like kind of play around in them and not necessarily commit to finishing them. Because I think when I commit to finishing them, I get like, oh man, because I never finished Little Nightmares. You know, I did September 1999 because it was like I knew that I'd be able to do it in one sitting. So maybe I might do that where I just am like, hey, let's check out this game and like play a little bit and like not necessarily finish it. I think that'd be better for me to produce like more consistent content on here. And you guys let me know what you want to see. I'll probably keep, you know, I haven't done music in a while, so I don't post that much music anymore. But I don't know, I'll try to keep everyone up to date on stuff.
That'd be cool. You've made little videos of some of your blacksmithing.
I have, yeah, and they'll be in this video too. So
cool, yeah. I think that's really interesting, because I don't think a lot of people see the behind the scenes of, like you were saying, in the movies it always looks a certain way. They just like, even in Iron Man, he just like bangs on some stuff, and then like the next scene there's the Iron Man suit. Yeah. And so I think it'd be cool for some people to see like what actually happens.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are getting, from what I understand, a lot of people are getting more exposure to like real honest blacksmithing through this show called Forged and Fired, which I haven't watched yet, but a lot of the guys in my blacksmithing class have talked about it, and my instructor talks about it, and yeah, I guess the reason I think it's called Forged and Fired is because they always quench their material in oil that like the top of it sort of lights on fire when you quench in certain kinds of oil. And he's like, you can quench in anything you want, you can quench in water, but these guys, it wouldn't be called Forged and Fired if they quenched in water, so they quench in oil. My old blacksmithing instructor, you can tell like, you know, what's gimmicky and what's not. But, but you can quench in all sorts of different sort of materials.
It's a cool name that conjures all that sorts of imagery that we're used to. So
flair for the dramatic.
Petition for Max to make me a sword and shield and a helmet.
Oh boy!
And a full suit of armor.
That petition is going to have to involve some money, because that sounds expensive as hell.
You know, maybe for birthday I get a sword, and then Christmas.
That'll tide you over for like 3 birthdays, 3 Christmases. That'll be.
And then it'll be my Halloween costume.
Take me a while sweating it out in front of the forge.
I just want to be a knight, guys. That's why I like doing these skits. It's just
guys, can we get 1,000 likes to make Emmett a knight?
The funnest part of doing Oblivion in real life too was just like going to the woods and dressing up as a knight and
just
like
LARPing in the woods
as a knight. That's why in the Morrowind combat video.
I miss working on Oblivion in real life too.
It was
okay, that's a lot of what got me into like working on like welding and blacksmithing and stuff. Is I had so much fun making the gate.
The gate was a lot of fun.
It was the most fun for me. It was the most fun part of Oblivion in real life too. It was so gratifying to look at this thing that we built. You know,
and we do still have it. A lot of people have asked like what happened to the gate.
It's in pieces.
It's in 3 separate pieces around the yard and
so forth.
So we still have it.
Get some shots of it for you.
It's not like broken. It's meant to be disassembled and reassembled.
It's yeah. We
Yeah.
built it to be disassemblable and reassemblable.
We put it in a U-Haul truck, so we like slid the different pieces in the U-Haul truck, drove it up to the chute, and then we assembled it in the woods there, and then it was cool. So yeah, we still have it hanging around, but it was a lot of fun to make.
It was
really
a lot of fun,
yeah.
and it could be used again, but we'd have to like sort of refurbish the outside. We'd probably have to paint. We'd definitely have to clean it off, paint over it again.
Yeah.
Maybe repair certain parts of it with foam. But yeah.
Yeah, it would be cool. Well, anyway, so Gate first. The next project will be my full knight costume of real metal. Yeah, I don't know. Anything else?
No, I think I'm good.
Cool. Well, thanks for hanging out with us, guys. Let
Thanks
us know what
very
you
much.
think. See you around.
Take care.